time was, the trip from Whitesburg to Blackey was pretty straightforward. You drove 8 miles down Kentucky 15 to Kentucky 7 South, turned left, and then turned left again at the only big blue bridge there is. Now you drive about 4 miles down 15 and turn left on Kentucky 160. While it's not that bad here where you first turn in, the farther you go, the worse it gets. And that is what has Blackey residents so upset. On the 3rd of June, the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet closed down the Blackey Bridge because of a rusted gusset plate in the 94-year-old structure. They said they hope to have it finished by the time school starts back this fall, but that's Wednesday, and they're still waiting for someone to make that steel plate. Meanwhile, people going to or from Blackey have 3 choices: park their cars on the shoulder of Kentucky 7 and walk across the bridge, travel the old river road, or stay home. Kentucky 160 through Premium and Hot Spot isn't that bad. It winds along Smoot Creek to the Kentucky River, where it joins Kentucky 588 and parallels the railroad at the river past houses and cliffs, and crosses under the old Enterprise coal tipple at Roxana. It's still a decent 2-lane up until it passes the mouth of Mill Branch, but there, just across the railroad crossing, the road to Blackey, Kentucky takes a right turn. For the worse. The difference is noticeable immediately. The asphalt, or what's left of it, is narrower, the shoulders pretty much non-existent, and the edge of the road is often broke off and falling down the hillside. It's a rough road, too, with old patching and cracks caused by a sinking roadbed. Still, a good coat of blacktop and some steel pilings driven into the rock would do wonders. But with all the work to be done here, this hasn't made it to the top of the list yet. In spite of potholes and failing guardrails, the road is still mostly serviceable as it passes the proposed site of the federal prison. That's it, right here on the left. At Tolson, the conditions get worse. The road narrows to one rough, patched lane of blacktop before widening out again. But the 2 lanes don't last long. Less than a mile down the road at Judy Branch, just across the river from the old Indian Bottom, Kentucky 588 turns into 1 lane, and it stays that way, all the way to Blackey. Roads in Letcher County in general are bad since the flood of 2022, but River Road is in a class all by itself. It was bad before the flood, and it's downright primitive now. Scarcely 1.5 lanes wide, it clings to the edge of cliffs 50 feet and more above the North Fork. On the opposite side, more cliffs loom over the passing cars. Here and there, there's guardrail, but sometimes it's just the ends of steel pilings driven into the ground after the road crumbled into the river. If you meet a large vehicle here, you'd better be good at backing up. A Ram 1500 pickup is 6 feet 8 inches wide, which means 2 might or might not be able to pass on River Road, which is about 13 feet wide. A school bus is 8 feet wide, so nothing with 4 wheels and a license plate is getting past that on River Road. Kentucky 588 is not a good road when only a few cars a day travel it. But the Blackey Bridge carried more than 150 vehicles every single day. With no other way out of Blackey, most of those cars, along with school buses, will now be driving on River Road. Despite road conditions, there are houses on River Road, but they mostly stop at Judy Branch, and then don't pick up again until you get nearly to Blackey. Before the bridge closure, those houses nearest Blackey would travel through the old town and never have to travel the worst parts of River Road. State officials say they're in a position where all they can do is wait and hope for the new gusset plate to arrive. Once it does, they say it'll be quick work to replace it. But until it does, the Mountain Heritage Head Start, that's it on the left here, is stuck taking its young students to the end of the bridge to meet their parents, or driving them across 16 miles of bad road. The Letcher County School District is in the same position, trying to figure out what to do with its students. For now, anyone traveling to Blackey has to stop here, at this nearly century-old landmark, now blocked on both ends and covered in barrels in an attempt to keep side-by-side drivers from using the bridge until it's structurally sound again. Once you get to Blackey now, there's only one way back, and that is literally back.